Hello, everyone. It's Junie. This is a clip of us doing behind the scenes with a spirit box. Now, this is a pre-recorded spirit box session, so we don't have to say the prayer or anything like that. This was already pre-recorded. Just remember, this is an app that I use that doesn't add the voice to the spirits. This is my spirits' voices. You want to be careful of channels that put a spirit box session on and they're not open and honest with you about adding a child's voice, especially in the Summer Wells case. I've seen lots of channels do this. They play a spirit box session and it's a little girl, and that's not Summer's voice. So you want to stick to channels that are open and honest with the spirit box that they're using. And if they've added a child's voice, they'll tell you. And there's a couple of channels that I trust that do that. And there's some channels out there that don't. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. Another thing that you'll notice is that my spirits have a handle, meaning that they repeat things over and over again. And this is how they've explained to me how a spirit box works. I'm not an engineer. I'm not, educated enough, but this is what they've explained it to me as. They say that it's a handle, and I say that I have a bubble in my throat. Once I say that I have a bubble in my throat, they say air bubble. Now, it's the EVPs and the voices that pop on after they have grabbed onto this handle. This handle is how they manipulate the spirit box and how they're able to manipulate the electrical devices for inside the phone, okay? So that's what you need to pay attention to, is when they repeat the handle, which they say is systematic, they're manipulating it so they can speak immediately after. So when you hear air bubble, you want to really tune into what they're saying after air bubble. You'll hear that throughout this session. Another thing that I've noticed is that someone comes in that's not part of our circle. They do not speak, but my spirits ask them, who are you, and do you know something about this case? So already I feel that we have some spirits coming through, or that my spirits are putting their feelers out, trying to get other. It's like kind of like a network, how they put it out there that they're looking for this child's killer. This is the case about the little girl that was found beheaded in 1983 in St. Louis in a abandoned apartment building's basement. She was not murdered in that basement. She was murdered someplace else, but she was put there. They believe the sexual assault was done because her hands were tied behind her back. And she was beheaded. She was decapitated. We have not found her head. She is a Jane Doe, and she is unidentified. Now, my spirits are very humble. I am very humble with you. Like I said, I don't come on YouTube and declare myself a psychic. I've never done that. I am clairaudient. I don't need a spirit box to hear spirit. I use a spirit box so you can hear spirit. I have always been able to hear spirit ever since I was a small child. I got some hate because I said I worked with spirits for over 20 years, and someone said, oh, spirit boxes weren't even invented 20 years ago, so how are you working with spirit if spirit boxes weren't even invented yet? You don't need a spirit box. You can use a tape recorder. Matter of fact, YouTube is a huge conduit for spirits to use. I listen to YouTube all the time when we're doing investigations for cases, because there's EVPs in the background, okay? So spirits don't need a spirit box to talk to us. They've always been able to talk to us through electrical devices, okay? So let me just straighten that, attack right up. So this is about the little girl found in this building. My spirits are very humble about that this is a difficult case. They say it is difficult. They say that this is hard to put out her name into the spirit, put out her case or her situation out into the spirit world, because there is no name, that she is a Jane Doe. So here's the one session, and you can hear what my spirits have to say about it. Hello, everyone. It's Junie. So I just wanted to show you a little bit what I do with my spirit boxes and sessions. Sometimes when I'm just hanging out with my spirits, as you guys know, this is my spirits. This is the app that I use. I like this app because it doesn't add, I have a bubble in my throat. It doesn't add sound or make up a voice. A lot of the spirit boxes that some YouTubers will update, they're able to add a child's voice to it. they're able to add an adult's voice to it, and they can add female small child, and it sounds like Summer. So that's why I like to use this app. If you're with a creator, you want to make sure, and there are creators out there that tell you that they've added the voice. Okay, so that's the kind of creators that you want to stick by, the ones that are honest with you about the apps, tell you exactly what they're doing, and that if they added a small child's voice to it, okay, because if they've added a small child's voice to it, we really don't know if that's Summer or not. Okay, it's kind of manipulative, and I've seen a couple of channels do that, so I don't like to do that. This is my spirit's voice. You guys will recognize their voice because it's always been the same. I have the same voice on my spirit boxes for many years. And basically, guys, I have used a spirit box so you can hear my spirits. I hear them all the time with my naked ear. I don't need a spirit box to hear my spirits. So when I say that I've been listening to spirits for 20 years, before a spirit box, you can use a tape recorder and hear spirit boxes. So, I mean, you don't need a spirit box. I don't need a spirit box to hear my spirits. I use a spirit box so you can hear my spirits, okay? Just so we're clear. So this is what we'll do. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the beheaded little girl that was found in the abandoned building in St. Louis in 1983. She was found in the basement of an abandoned apartment building, and I'm showing my spirits the news clip. This is what I do. I know it sounds actually crazy, right? That I sit here and watch old news clips with my spirits, but that's what I do. I try to keep them informed, so they know about the case that we're talking about, so they can form their own opinions, and it helps them reach out to spirits in the spirit world, so they know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, we don't know this little girl's name, the beheaded little girl, Jane Doe, from 1983. We don't know her name, and I wanted to show my spirits this and get their opinion on it, because I can't reach out for a name, so they don't know who they're asking for either. So this is just how I do it. I know it might seem absolutely crazy to you guys that I watch the news with my spirits and we watch old videos together, but that's what we do.
The circumstances surrounding this case were so horrific it garnered national attention. It's haunted detectives who have worked it, but now new detectives are reopening the case 37 years
All right, spirits, we're going to try to figure out this little girl, who she is, okay?
Raped.
That's her little hands.
February 28th,
Her little hands were tied behind her back, and she was found beheaded.
In the basement of an abandoned
And this is
on Clemens Avenue. The light illuminates the body of a young girl.
Where it is.
We know the child was sexually assaulted, and we know the child was decapitated.
Detectives believe the child was between 8 and 11 years old. She was found with just a yellow V-neck sweater on, her hands bound behind her back with red and white nylon rope. Investigators believe that she was beheaded elsewhere.
Spirits, do you know anything about this child? Sorry, I have background noises here, guys, so if you hear something in the background, that's my family is running around tonight.
They traveled all over the country following up.
I usually debunk any background noises anyway. You guys know I'm pretty... I'm the one that's trying to debunk everything, so...
We still haven't been able to, one, identify her, and just as importantly, we have not been able to identify the suspect.
Eventually, the case went cold. Then in 2013, homicide detectives exhumed the body to gather any type of scientific evidence that could now be tested. They learned the child was most likely from the southeast or Midwest.
That banging is my daughter coming up the steps, so it's not a ghost.
We can do any number of scientific research and analysis on this case, and none of that supplants someone coming forward.
You see, there's no name on her grave, guys. Spirits, do you know anything about this child? Do you think you can help us? Do you think you could help us with this case, spirits?
running through the case. We're examining all the old records, and we're once
You
again
watching the news with me?
from the public.
The head of the St. Louis Metro Homicide Division, Lieutenant Scott Aubuchon, says little Jane Doe was found with red polish on her fingernails. It looks like she was well cared for.
We believe the child wasn't homeless. So, yeah, it stands to reason that their friends, their family were involved with this child. They were aware of the child.
He still believes that someone knows something.
An 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old
Absolutely.
girl just doesn't disappear without people being notified. We are now...
Do you guys have any idea where the rest of her body is?
Before to talk about it. Now,
Spirits, do you know anything about this case? Do you think you could help us with it?
Aubuchon says they haven't gotten a worthwhile tip in this case in 10 to 15 years. But now's the time for detectives, the department, and St. Louis to name little Jane Doe and her killer.
We are the
If you have any tips on this case or any other cold case, you can call the St. Louis Homicide Department. I'll put that number in this story online. Reporting, I'm Catherine Hesse.
Yeah, I had an air bubble in my
How
throat
do
earlier.
celebrities like Justin?
Okay, so this was just one of the clips I had of a pre-recorded episode regarding the little girl Jane Doe from 1983 from St. Louis that's still unidentified today. It's a very old case, and you know, I wanted to include this clip for you guys because I want to remind you that spirits sometimes don't know. And I'm humble enough to put it on here. I'm humble enough to put it out into the YouTube world that my spirits can admit when they don't know something. You know, it is difficult. And spirit boxes work in a very, very funny way. And of course, I wish they could say, you know, Jane Doe's body or Jane Doe's, you know, other remains are buried at Judy Smith's house, 555 West 3rd Street. Take a shovel, knock on the door at 3 because they get home from work at 3, you know, and, you know, dig a hole 3 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, dig a hole right there, and you're going to find these remains. It doesn't work that way. Spirit doesn't work that way. And it is frustrating to me. And there are times that I get so angry with my spirits and I'm so frustrated, but they forgive me, you know, and I forgive them. Because I wish that they could just tell me things. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they come right out and say things that I'm shocked that I've gotten an address before. So, I mean, it's a hit or miss. And that's why I continue to, you know, consult them. I know it's not going to solve a crime. I know it's not going to make everything all better. But it is interesting, and it's just another aspect of crime, looking at crime through the eyes of spirit. And that's all that I'm showing you guys, is that, you know, the spirit world is talking. The spirit world has been talking since Summer Wells's case. The spirit world was talking in the background of Candace's and Don's interview. They've been talking since day one. And spirits are talking about this case. But my spirits are humble enough to say that this is a tough one. They said, this is a tough one. And it's hard to put anything out into the spirit world without a name. But somebody showed up in the background there. And my spirits said, who is he? Like someone came in and joined the circle. And that's interesting to me. That means that there's other spirits that are curious. So it brought someone forward. And that's kind of what it does. Whenever we mention a spirit's name, or when we're talking about a spirit in our prayer circle, it brings them forward. Their spirit comes forward. Sometimes it takes a couple of days. For example, when I didn't upload this, but I have a spirit box session and it got deleted of Paul Murdaugh and Maggie Murdaugh. It took my spirits 2 days to get them to show up. So it takes time sometimes. I had a spirit box session where I'm reaching out to my spirits asking about Maggie and Paul. And they said it's going to take us time to get them here. And 2 days later, my spirits are like, they're here. That's happened to me a couple of times with other cases as well. So I just wanted to share that with you, that it seems like someone did show up in our circle. I'm not sure, though. Again, this is all speculation. Again, I don't claim to be a psychic. I'm a highly intuitive person, and I'm clairaudient. I can speak to spirit and understand them. Okay, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys. But I'm not going to come on here and claim to be something that I'm not. So again, the spirit box, the spirit world is all up for interpretation. Please tell me if you heard the same thing. Please leave a comment below if you heard anything additional that I missed out. It is very difficult to listen to the spirit box in slow motion as well. So I know that you guys are amazing spiritualists yourself. I believe that most of my subscribers are gifted. So if you heard something, please add it in the comment section below. You are greatly appreciated. Much love to all of you. Blessings to you all. Blessed be. That's my daughter playing a video game in the other room, and she's playing a scary game. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.